Have you ever been in a room full of people, friends laughing, conversations flowing, but somehow you still feel completely disconnected? Like you're there physically, but mentally somewhere else? Not because you hate people, but because something inside you just doesn't respond the way it used to. Let me tell you about Daniel. Daniel used to be the kind of person everyone liked being around. He laughed easily, connected deeply, and conversations felt natural to him. But over time, something began to change. Slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. He started spending more time alone, late nights, screen glowing, telling himself it was just a way to relax. At first, it felt harmless, even comforting. But then, something shifted. The same friends he once enjoyed being around started to feel exhausting. Conversations felt slow, shallow, almost boring. He would sit there, nodding, smiling. But inside, he felt nothing. And that confused him, because deep down, he wanted connection, but his brain had been rewired. Let's break this down in a way that actually makes sense. As human beings, we are wired for connection. Your brain is designed to reward eye contact, touch, laughter, shared experiences. When you sit with someone you care about, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding chemical. It's calm, steady, meaningful. But pornography changes that equation completely. Instead of that steady emotional connection, it floods the brain with intense artificial dopamine spikes. And here's the problem. When your brain gets used to extreme stimulation, normal human interaction starts to feel underwhelming. This is what we call the erosion of social reward. Daniel didn't stop liking people. His brain just stopped feeling rewarded by them. So conversations felt like effort, and isolation started to feel easier. Now let's go deeper. Your brain uses something called schemas, mental shortcuts to understand people. But when someone consumes pornography frequently, the brain begins to shift those schemas. Instead of seeing people as individuals with emotions, stories, and depth, it starts to see them through a lens of function, appearance, or utility. This is what we call objectification schema. And over time, something dangerous happens. Empathy begins to fade. Not because the person is bad, but because the brain is no longer trained to see people deeply. So in social situations, Daniel would listen, but not really feel. He would respond, but not truly connect. And slowly, people started to feel distant, even when they were right in front of him. Now let's talk about something even more personal. Attachment. Real human connection requires vulnerability. It requires showing up, risking rejection, being seen. But pornography offers something different. Intimacy without vulnerability. No rejection. No pressure. No emotional risk. And at first, that feels safe. But over time, that safe space becomes a trap. Because the more you rely on artificial connection, the weaker your real-life social confidence becomes. Your brain starts to associate real interactions with discomfort, anxiety, even fear. This leads to social withdrawal. Daniel started avoiding gatherings, ignoring messages, choosing isolation over connection. And then came the worst part. The internal critic. That quiet voice that whispers, "Something is wrong with you. You're not the same. You don't belong here anymore." This creates a shame cycle. And shame builds walls. Walls that prevent you from being fully seen, fully known, fully connected. So even when Daniel was surrounded by people, he felt alone. Now let's look at relationships. Your brain naturally compares experiences. It uses contrast to judge what feels good and what doesn't. But pornography creates unrealistic standards, exaggerated visuals, edited perfection. So, when Daniel interacted with real people, his brain started making unfair comparisons. Real conversations felt less exciting. Real people felt less interesting, not because they lacked value, but because his brain had been trained to expect intensity, not authenticity. This leads to relationship dissatisfaction, and something even more dangerous: the phantom comparison, where no real person can compete with a digital illusion. But here's the part most people miss. This is not permanent. Your brain is not broken. It is adapted. And anything the brain learns, it can relearn. So what can you actually do? Let me give you 3 simple but powerful steps. 1. Reset your reward system. You need to reduce overstimulation. Give your brain time to return to baseline. That means creating space, limiting triggers, allowing your brain to feel normal again. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. That's not failure. That's recovery. 2. Rebuild real connections slowly. Don't force yourself into big social situations immediately. Start small. 1 conversation, 1 genuine interaction, 1 moment of presence. Train your brain to rediscover the reward in real human connection. 3. Change your environment. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your willpower. Remove easy access. Change your routine. Replace isolation with structure. Your brain follows patterns, so give it better ones. Now here's what happened to Daniel. At first, it was hard. Conversations still felt awkward. Connections still felt distant. But he stayed consistent. He showed up, even when it felt uncomfortable. And slowly, something changed. He laughed again, and it felt real. He connected again, and it felt natural. Not because he became someone new, but because he returned to who he was. And that's where I want to leave you. You are not disconnected because you don't like people. You are disconnected because your brain has been trained to seek something else. But the moment you retrain it, you don't just get your focus back. You get your humanity back. If this message spoke to you, take a moment to like this video. It helps more people find it. And if you're ready to understand your mind on a deeper level, subscribe to the channel. Share this with someone who needs it. Because sometimes one message can change everything.